Hey there, have you ever looked at an English word and just thought, why on earth are you spelled like that? Yeah, you are not alone. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on one of the biggest mysteries of the language, those sneaky silent letters that are hiding in plain sight. Okay, let's just dive right in. Why is English spelling so, well, weird? You see a bunch of letters on the page, but when you actually say the word, some of them just vanish. It feels like it was designed to be confusing, but believe it or not, there is some method to the madness. Let's start by looking at a few classic examples.
So first up, the word knife. Your brain sees that K right at the beginning, but your mouth, it just skips right over it. It's totally silent. So what's that even doing there? Well, fun fact, hundreds of years ago, people actually did say that K sound. The way we speak changed over time, but the spelling, it just stuck around, kind of like a little fossil hiding in the word.
And it's not just the letter K, not by a long shot. Take a look at psychology. We've got a P right at the start that we completely ignore. It's another one of those words that just seems designed to trip us up.
And what about debt? That silent B is just sitting in the middle, not making a peep. It's a super common word that perfectly captures this whole puzzle. See? English is just full of these hidden rules and silent secrets. But the good news is we can learn to spot them.
All right, let's start cracking the code. Our first, and honestly our most powerful tool, is something called the magic E rule. Think of this as a master key that's going to unlock the pronunciation of hundreds and hundreds of words.
So here's how it works. When you see an E at the end of a short word, it's almost always silent. Its real job, its superpower, is to reach back over the consonant and change the sound of the vowel before it. It turns it into a long vowel sound, which is just a fancy way of saying the vowel says its own name, like A, E, I, O, or U.
And you can see it in action right here. Look at cap. The A makes that short ah sound. But then you add that little magic E to the end and bam, it becomes cape, where the A literally says its name. Same thing happens with kit turning into kite and hop becoming hope. That silent E is one powerful little letter. Okay, so the magic E is a huge help, but a lot of the other silent letters aren't random either. They tend to show up in predictable patterns. If you can just learn to spot these silent partners, your reading and your spelling are going to get so much better. This chart lays out some of the most common combos. You see how whenever a word starts with KN, like no or not, that K is always silent. And when a word ends in MB, like in thumb, you just don't say the B. We already saw BT with the word debt, and PS at the start of a word is another classic. Seriously, once you see these patterns, you can't unsee them.
Of course, you knew this was coming. This is English we're talking about. So just when you think you've got it all figured out, the language throws you a curveball. Not every silent letter follows a nice, neat little rule. So let's get into some of the trickier cases.
Okay, let's talk about one of the biggest troublemakers out there, GH. It's got a real split personality. On the one hand, in words like high or light, it's completely silent. But then you look at words like laugh or rough, and all of a sudden, it decides to make an F sound. There's no simple rule here. This one's just a matter of getting to know the words. And finally, we have the true rebels. The words on this slide, they just don't follow any rules at all. I mean, why is there a silent W in sword, a silent S in island, or a silent P in receipt? There's no hidden pattern here. These are the words you just have to meet, learn, and commit to memory. You can think of them as the final bosses of English spelling. So, we've gone through the rules, the patterns, and even the rule breakers. What's the big takeaway here? Well, what we've seen is that English spelling isn't total chaos. There's a hidden system hiding under the surface. And learning to see that system? That's like getting a spelling superpower.
And this right here, this is the most important thing to remember. You really don't need to memorize every single quirky word to become a more confident reader and speller. The real key is recognizing the patterns, like the magic E or that KN combo. As the slide says, the rules aren't perfect, for sure, but the patterns are incredibly powerful. They'll get you where you need to go most of the time.
So, there you have it. You've peeked behind the curtain of English's silent letters. Hopefully, our spelling system feels a little less mysterious and a whole lot more interesting. The only question left is, what part of this weird and wonderful language should we tackle next?